just seen the definition of unit commitment. Now we'll see a general constraint in a unit commitment 2. Okay, we will see one by one. Here. As we have discussed, unit commitment is the optimization process where the system is operated to choose either switch on or switch off to minimize the production cost, and it has the scheduling for that, and it is different from economical dispatch. Now, what is unit commitment schedule? It is planning, and purpose of planning is what? To schedule the unit commitment, that is called as unit commitment schedule, which tells us the when, where we have to shut down and run the particular unit in a prescribed time. So we can correlate the present, past and future requirement of load. Unlike economic load dispatch, the objective of planning is not to distribute the load in a real time between the units already running in such a manner that every instant it should be economical. Okay, now we'll see some of the constraint. The constraint on unit commitment. In university examination, they may ask the questions on what are the constraint or explain the constraint on unit commitment. So we'll see one by one. What are these? Here, spinning reserve. In a simple definition, the total generation, whatever the generators are synchronized there, is nothing but the total generation minus the total load plus loss is nothing but the spinning reserve. Okay. It is necessary to have the spinning reserve because a loss of one or more units can cause the system becomes drop. So we must be prepared to have the spinning reserves on that time. Is it clear? Now we are having the thermal unit. Okay, thermal unit constraint. The thermal unit basically constraints having the two parameter. First one is minimum uptime and second one is the minimum downtime. Minimum uptime means once the unit is running, it should be turned off immediately. That is, it should be kept running for a specific period of time, isn't it? That is the minimum uptime. Minimum downtime means once the unit is decommitted, there is a minimum time before can be recommitted. That is the minimum downtime. The next one, we are having a third one, crew constant. Crew constant means crew members which are operating over there. That is the crew constant. Now, crew constant, if the plant consists of two or more units, they cannot be run at a time. Remember that, dear friends. The plant cannot be run at a time because the crew members are limited one. Okay, so both are started with having a certain period of difference. Next one is a transition cost. Transition cost, a certain amount of energy always required to bring the thermal unit in a running condition. Okay, to start. That is not in terms of megawatt. A certain energy is required to make the generator should be done. That is startup cost, which is from the maximum cold start. Okay, here two costs are calculated. One with the unit completely shut down and then bringing it in online. So these two costs should be considered in a transition cost. Which two costs? One with the unit completely shut down timing and then bringing it to online. Okay, then hydro constraint. We know most of the system have hydroelectric units. The operation of hydro units depend on availability of water. Okay, so we can suddenly switch on and switch off the hydropower plant as the water is available at that instant. Next one is a must run. Some units are given a must run start during the certain time of a year for a reason of voltage support in a transmission line. That is called as must run. Is it clear? Why it is called as must run? Some of the unit must be start during a certain period for maintaining the transmission line voltage. Last one is a fuel constraint. Some plant cannot be operated due to deficiency of a fuel supply. Sometimes it is required to burn the specific amount of fuel in a given time. For example, coal is not sufficient. Then you have to burn another fuel which is having the availability. Okay, so this is about the various constraint on unit commitment. So thank you very much for watching the video.